everyone, my name is Casper. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, hi, it's nice to meet you. You will notice that I am using a different name. It's just the name that I prefer, that I've been using since I started that, like my videos before, but it was just like a whole, I didn't know if I wanted to share that online yet, but yep, my name is Casper. I have taken a little bit of a break. I was dealing with some academic burnout. I have not posted in 6, almost 7 months, but I am back and I want to start doing this more frequently. But yeah, as you can see, it's longer hair. It's purple now, if you can tell with this camera. I'm in a different space. I'm in my room in my family home. And I'm doing a lot better. The state of my reading goal is atrocious, and that's what I'm basically going to be trying to work through in these videos. On my Fable, it says I need to read 19 books a month to catch up. To if I want to complete my reading goal, that's around how much I need to be reading per month, which I can do. I know I can do it. But it just sounds so daunting. It's like, okay. The reason I'm so far behind my reading goal, and I always set a goal of 100 books per year. Oh my gosh. Hello. I'm sorry, there was like a hummingbird right outside my window. I have read 5 books, 5 out of 100. So I still have 95 books to read to reach my reading goal. I have read Lord of Eternal Night, which is by Ben Alderson. And then the other 4 books I read are the 4 current installments of the Prince of Lust series by Lucien Burr. Well, I will say, always check your trigger warnings for books before reading them. I know it won't be for everybody, but I really liked the series. I binge read all 4 books within 2 days, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't how it could end. I look up. It's because there's a whole nother book that's coming out, I think in September, that I didn't know about. So Throne of Desire is coming out on September 1st. Because as soon as that book comes out, you bet I'm going to have it. I need it. Now. You hand me monsters and demons and a pathetic man, I will eat that book up every time. But anyways, what I'm currently reading Bare Your Teeth by Twoony. It's an enemies to lovers, kind of enemies with benefits is what it was told to me as. And when I tell you the banter, I am one that does not like when it's fast-paced in enemies to lovers, like when they all of a sudden it's just like they hate each other then they love each other, or they mildly dislike each other and then they love each other. No, they hate each other and I love it. We are in a part of the book where I think stuff is about to start getting real. Like, things have already been revealed, like things about characters' pasts that are just like relatable in a sense that it's so heart-wrenching. And also, all the books I'm mentioning, I am trying to read and start putting out there more queer representation in books. There was Heartstopper in my library. That was it for really queer books in my library. And while that was really helpful for myself at that time, seeing myself represented, it was really hard not finding any other books in my library, which is where I did most of my reading. So it's just finding books with characters like myself that are relatable as a trans man, and I'm aro ace and gay. I'm engaged to a man. Seeing myself in these books, seeing myself in these characters, being able to relate to these characters, and just like that feeling, it's so special. Like, we have a character in this book and she is trans, and I can't explain how happy that made me. It was just like instantly, as soon as I seen, it was just like, I was like, oh my gosh. It's just like the inner, like my inner dialogue was like, oh my gosh, she's like me. there's people write about characters like that, and it was just like a whole, like, it's a thing for me. And so what I'm basically trying to do is I'm trying to read more books by queer authors, trying to review more books by queer authors with queer characters that aren't just the side characters, that are the main people we're focusing on, because I didn't get that while I was starting my reading, and I always felt really upset and really sad that I never seen myself in the media. So this is also just a little bit of healing for myself, just being like, oh my gosh, there are books that exist like this, and I want to show other people who didn't think books like this existed the books. So yeah, this is, I'm pretty sure it's sent kind of like war times, fantasy, enemies to lovers kind of romance. The banter, amazing. But yes, we're gonna do that. I want to finish reading this duology. As you can see in the background, my room's a little bit of a mess, so I am going to be cleaning that, and then I want to spend a big chunk of my day reading. So I'm just gonna basically get my bed nice and comfy. I need to put some laundry on, and then I just need to get reading and chill out for a little bit. Maybe call my fiance. We'll see. Yeah, I'm so excited, and I'm so happy to be back. Just everything. I'm just so excited. But yeah, if you're watching, thank you so much for tuning in. And let's get into the main part of the video. I will stop rambling. So, naturally for me, I got distracted. I have been cleaning, and I just put up a tapestry because I've been here since March, and I don't have any of my like wall decorations up. I just put up one of my pride flags over there. I'm gonna put another one there. I'm gonna put another tapestry above my bed. I'm just trying to make it look all me. So I called my fiance. That's why I did this evening. I spent time with him, so I wasn't able to start the reading, but I got a lot of stuff I wanted to get done around my room done today. I am going to try to finish reading Bare Your Teeth by Twoony tonight, and start the second one, or start and finish the second one. I have some chips to snack on. I'm gonna get cozy and start reading. You guys might see some of that. That I'm going to read. I might write a little bit before bed in here. And then I will update you when I see you next. If I just show a bit of me reading and then it's the next day, it's because I had to go to sleep. My iPad has 15%, so I'm going to try to film this reading update quickly, but we all know how I ramble. I am now about 50% of the way through the book. We have seen some development between our two characters. They still hate each other, which I love, but there was some stuff going on. I am about 50% of the way through, and I love that it has been a big chunk of the book before any real moves have been made between these two. It's like one scene happened, they still hate each other. Like, they don't still hate each other, but they just, the banter is still there. It's not, oh, one thing happened, now they're all lovey-dovey. There's still tension, there's still stuff there that hasn't been worked through, and I cannot wait to see, because I seen like this book that apparently it's just like the tension is there. Apparently they are hopelessly, the second book, it's just like they become obsessively like just, and I actually kind of love that trope, just like the I absolutely hate your guts, not for long. But I'm enjoying this. We are starting to see more of the conflict of the war happening within this book. I'm just getting a little bit worried for our characters. I went into this book completely blind, by the way. I knew nothing about it. I just was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. I'm going to get it. And our two main characters are now in separate places. They're now away from each other when they have been together throughout the entire book so far. So I'm just worried for what's gonna happen. I don't do spoilers in my videos. I try my best to try to keep things as vague as possible, but also I will probably write out full like spoiler review. Like I'll write out my normal review and then a spoiler review, just because I want to talk about this book. If you have read this book, please reach out. I would love to talk about this book. The way Twoony writes, the tension is so good, and also the characters are all so like well-rounded, and the emotions of the characters are just feels so real. Like reading it, like I don't know how I look reading. I'm gonna watch that back and while I'm editing, but the way I felt myself blushing at one point. I was like, but it's nighttime. I'm trying not to be too loud because other people are sleeping, but I'm the type of reader who gasps and will start talking at the book. So you might see more of that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm loving this book. I love it so much. There's not been something that I don't like about this book. If I cringe away from it, it's only because I'm like, oh my god, no, don't do that. It's the emotion of just like the wanting to like talk to the character, be like, don't do that, something bad's gonna happen, or just like, you fucking like, it's just like to the characters, but it's right for the story. This is a 5-star read so far, and I think I might have found a new favorite author because it's just so good, so good. If you have not read any of Toony's books, I highly suggest picking this one up. This is the first book I've ever read by them. It's so good. But gonna read more, gonna chill out for a little bit, gonna go to bed. So I slept in for a little while. I think I'm getting sick. I think that's what it is. Which is gonna be lovely. But I'm here, I'm awake, I am dressed, I am gonna read. I read 2 chapters while I was downstairs, and we are, like, there's a lot happening currently in the book. We are being introduced to another character, Albie. One of the characters. We're seeing someone from their past, and I already hate this person. It's just like the internal, like, I was just like seeing the pure, like, just like the anger, resentment, and fear. I just instantly was like, oh, so we don't like this guy. Got it. Okay, cool. But now things are going down. Our characters are still split up right now. Okay, so like Nick left to go do something. I'm trying to explain it without spoiling it. Nick left to go do something. If you've read this book, I'm on chapter 18. Nick left to go do something. William is still here. They were seeing stuff where Nick was, but now shit is happening where William is. And we haven't gotten a chapter from Nick yet. But yeah, I'm going to continue. I'm going to get this done, have my coffee, have some YouTube on, and just chill. So you know how I was just like, I'm gonna go read, and everything, I was about to go do that. Like, I did go do that. It's like 15, 20-ish minutes later, I read a few chapters. So much happened. I was filming, but once I was just like, I'm gonna check the footage because I don't want too much, because like I need to go through and edit all of that. Tell me why my iPad froze a minute into the recording. All of the footage, not usable. It all froze. So it's just me sitting there. It's like a still image. I was like, are you serious? So much happened. And so much just like high stakes, like close to heart kind of things. Our characters are back in the same general vicinity now. And I will just say, I love William. I love William so much. A situation happened and he took care of it. For anyone who's read that, they'll probably know what I mean by took care of it. We love someone who protects others. And we've had another moment with our two characters. You can see that they're starting, like, they're warming up to each other. It's just also characters dealing with past stuff, still getting to know each other, still kind of being offstandish and not knowing what to feel about the other because of what they've been taught, and just like all the fun stuff. But I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to be calling my fiance. I might record while I do that, just to get you guys some more footage of me reading. Let us get back into the reading. I just love this book. I'm still getting used to trying to like I don't want to give spoilers at all, but it's just, there's so much I want to talk about these books. It's so well written. I cannot give high enough praise for this book. It's like I'm 60% of the way through and I know this is a 5-star read. Like, I'm calling it now. It's a 5-star read. This might be a 5-star duology. And the fact that there's only one more book after, and then that's it. I have a hard time finishing series because I'm always like, that world is over now. There's nothing new to experience for myself from that world. And it makes me so sad. Does anyone else have that happen? So my iPad froze. I've tried to re-record this a few times. It's a little past 1 a.m, but I got off the phone with my fiance a little bit ago. I will be fully transparent. I was doom scrolling for a bit. That's why I didn't get as much reading done, but I did get more. I paused while on the phone with my fiance. Well, like, paused reading, because I wanted to give it my full undivided attention, because there's so much happening right now. There's a lot. The stakes are being raised. There's more things happening. We're learning about our characters. We're learning about their past. We're learning about just the things that they've gone through and, like, how they're now here. It's just, these characters are so rich and so real in a sense. This is phenomenal writing from a phenomenal author, and just, I need to have these physically in my collection. Like, do I need to pare down my collection? Yes. Is my collection very big anymore? No, it is not, and it's getting smaller because I'm donating some books soon. But for the books I do want to keep, and I do want to have, and I want to display, and just, I feel like this book will always be, like, close, because I've just experienced so much joy. Like, I am so glad I stumbled across this book while scrolling one day. And yeah, also, though, it being called the Wicked Ones duology, once you get into it, there's a nickname used. One of my favorite things is when books relate back, like, when they sprinkle the name of the book in there, or they like hint back to something about the title or something about the book, that's just like, it's what the reader knows. And then they sprinkle it into the book. It's just, I love it. I got home about an hour plus-ish ago. My hair looks crazy, don't mind that. I had an everything shower when I got back because I was just like, it was all too much. I felt gross. It was hot at work. And so now I'm doing my hair. It was extremely busy at work today. I hardly had time to read any of Bare Your Teeth. Probably read the rest of Bare Your Teeth to get that one done because I want to spend more time in that book. I haven't since last night, and I'm really close to being done, and I will not shut up about this book, and no one can make me. So I just had to like pause the clip. I was about to just sit down and read the rest of this book. I got really tired the other day, and I was just like, I need to like pause and go to bed. I'm so glad I paused then, because if I didn't pause, I would not have gone to sleep. I'm only pausing now because I'm like, I need to talk about this. I am trying to find a way to talk about this without giving spoilers, but like, things are happening. Things are going down. Things have been going down, but like, we had another character show up who is really relevant, and stuff is happening with Carmen. That's all I can say, is like, I'm worried about Carmen. So we already know that it's a fae and a human. That's already like just put out there on the cover and everything. So they're like working together in this army. But a human being with a fae, it's considered being a traitor. And this is a romance between a fae, a shade no less, like, and our other main character, a human. And I'm like, I know I read the first few lines of the next chapter, like chapter 28, and I just know that the character that showed up is gonna throw a really big rift into some things, because I feel like at the end of this, I will just have to have a spoiler section where I can just ramble. I need to just ramble. I need to get it out of my system. I need to talk to somebody about these books. I will be finishing this. I need to, but yeah. The span of one chapter, that's what that did to me. Just my eyes like panning over, just like I love how it was literally the lookup of, are you seeing this? So we're gonna get reading. It is currently 11:19 p.m. I can finish that within less than 30 minutes, but I might take my time with it just because, like, I will read it fast, but like, I might have to take pauses for emotions, because there's a lot of emotions. Also, the way that we're seeing the shifting of just like the banter is becoming more of a playful thing, and they're learning about each other, and they want to learn about each other, and it's just becoming yearning for each other, and just the I love these characters. I love how they're written. I love everything. Nicholas is just okay. Even in this situation, how well, I get it. It's him. It's him. That's all I have to say. Yes. 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 When a character you thought was not on their side for a moment comes back, it's just like, I thought I wasn't gonna like you anymore after that. I finished the book. There's a second one. So I know things will get better. They better get better. Okay, it is really late. I have work in the morning, but before I go to bed, that is a 6-star read. I have never read a book that has enraptured my entire being so much. Like, my heart is aching. The enemies to lovers is lovering, but not happy shit. The best book I've ever read. Like, my heart. Oh. The first chapter is from Nicholas's perspective, and I really need that right now. Okay, good night. But anyways, I just wanted to come on and talk about the book I finished, Buried Teeth by Twoony. It is my new all-time favorite read. I will be getting physical copies. I need to have them. But I wanted to come on here, just basically debrief and just talk about it for a moment, because I am so back. I needed to read that book. It took me a little bit to get through it, but often when I'm getting out of a reading slump, the first book that I read getting out of a reading slump takes me way longer to read than it does for me to normally read books. But yeah, I'm glad I picked it back up, and I'm glad I started filming again, because if I didn't start filming again, I wouldn't have applied for the ARCs that I'm now accepted for. I am just really glad to be looking back at book content again. It's just, I missed it. I missed it a lot. I can't wait to be doing this more. Just, yeah. I know that I won't be reading the second book in this video. I'm going to be starting that tomorrow, hopefully, if work is not too busy. My hours have been upped. So I'm working 5 days a week. So I will only have that, 2 days off, which is 1 in the middle of the week and on Sundays, because I can't work Sundays. So we're gonna see how filming and reading goes. Man, I am working most of the week. Yeah. Now on to talking about Bare Your Teeth. I was scrolling randomly on Instagram one day when I happened across Twoony's author page, and I seen the cover art for Bare Your Teeth, and I was like, I want to look into this, so I did, and I seen someone say it was like enemies with benefits, enemies to lovers kind of thing, and I was like, you know what? I've read enemies to lovers, but I haven't really read the enemies with benefits kind of trope. And I have never read enemies to lovers written so well. Like, for me, when there's like any sort of enemies to lovers trope, one of my biggest pet peeves is when it goes from being like they mildly dislike each other to they're absolutely in love with each other, or it's just like they hate each other for like maybe 3 chapters. Like, I want to prolong that. I want there to be enough time for there to be character development, because that's not going to happen just like that. That's not realistic. This felt more realistic, and just the characters felt so believable, so relatable, and it was so good. I had such a good time with this book. And I also feel like reading books by people in the LGBTQIA plus community with characters from the community. I have not read a lot of like books with those types of characters in it, just because I wasn't really looking. I didn't see people talking about them a lot. And I'm so glad I did start looking, because I feel like that's what I've been missing in my reading. Seeing, like, I just want to I seen someone say, like, they, at this point in their reading and everything, they just want to consume, like, queer joy. And just, I cannot relate, like, more to this, because I'm just like, you know what, yeah, I do want to read that. I have not read a lot of that, and it's making me so happy. The representation in this book was written so beautifully. The atmosphere, the attention to detail, and just how well formed the characters were. The characters were really likable, or and the characters are not, like, some characters are very not likable, but that's what they're supposed to be, because they're not good people. But, like, the characters were so well written. They had depth to them. They had personality. It didn't just feel like words on a page. It felt like you were actually there. And when a book can do that, it's just so powerful. And I will say this is a type of book that had me laughing. I have cried a few times. And just, I loved it. I loved every single moment of it. And, I'm trying to figure out what I can say without spoilers. But it gives you the fae and human and the forbidden romance between the two, and just the high stakes of what's going on with it being set in war-torn times, and just seeing how characters also deal with other characters and gender expression and sexuality, and just all of the everything. All of the everything was written so beautifully, and I did not want to put the book down at any time. I had a hard time getting through some of it because I didn't have a hard time getting through any of it. I had a hard time finishing it just because of how busy I've been lately. And it was pulling me out of a book slump, but every moment I had it in my hands, I didn't want to put it down. I loved this book so much. It is my new favorite read. It's my favorite read of the year. Is it the sixth novel I've read this year? Yes. But it is my favorite read of this year, and like one of my favorite reads of all time, if not my favorite read of all time. Like when a book can leave you feeling physically ill after what happened and you need to know more. Like I felt like my heart and my stomach, like my heart was aching and my stomach hurt. You guys seen the clip? I was like I paused that clip and I sobbed. I sobbed just because I've grown so attached to these characters, and there was like part of me that was like so relieved that some of the situations were dealt with, but with the current state of what's going on when the first book ends has me wrecked. And seeing the second cover, and it's just like my brain's like kind of speculating things that could be happening in the second book. Like I said so in like the end of that I opened up the book and I opened to the first chapter. Just seeing that the first chapter was from Nicholas, in a sense, gave me so much relief that was the reason I could sleep. But yeah, I'm going to be writing a full-on review, and I'm going to be posting it on my book Instagram. But I absolutely love this book. I cannot recommend it enough. If you love the Fae and human and enemies to lovers written really well, a good slow burn, and yearning on both ends, it's like one fell first, but they were both kind of falling, and just like the realization of that, and just the not realizing, like the not accepting till the end of the book that, oh my gosh, I love him. I have not read a book this good or in a really, really long time. I can't. I could talk about this book for hours. I'm just rambling on at this point. But if you like books that are like, if you like reading about Fae and human relationships, a good slow burn, a really well written, like they hate each other, enemies to lovers, kind of like they will try to each other, kind of like enemies to lovers. They did not like each other, but the going from complete enemies to lovers to the slow burn and the banter and slowly becoming yearning for each other and needing each other to be around, and being each other's comfort. If you like the high stakes of war-torn times and battles and treaties between Fae and humans, and just crazy complex characters, really multifaceted characters that will have you like so attached to them. Like, I have never felt so close with characters before. This is an all-time favorite read for me. I highly recommend it to anyone who has not read it, because like it's my new favorite book of all time. I need a physical copy of it as soon as possible. And I'm going to be going back through the book because I annotated it on my e-reader, and I'm going to be... I need to get a quote tattooed somewhere. I need to, because just the banter and some of the lines here were just chef's kiss. I can't. I cannot. I'm so not normal about this book, and I will not be over this book for a really long time. I will not. And I cannot wait to see how the next book goes, because I have such high expectations for it. It's so good. I cannot wait. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I'm only ending it because this video is already over an hour long. I'm gonna try to edit it down a bit with all my rambling. Yeah. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, evening, or night. If you have any suggestions for videos that you would like to see from me, or any books that you would like me to read and review, please let me know in the comments below. I will have my new book Instagram, my Goodreads, my Fable, and just anything that's needed linked down below. And yeah, I will see you all again in the next video. Love you all very much. Bye-bye.